Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is 3.7.1, Newton's Laws of Motion test review. There's 25 questions on this particular test, so let's go through what it might look like. Okay, this first question says, a worker pulls horizontally on a crate across a rough horizontal surface, causing it to move forward with constant velocity. So I went ahead and drew this so that I could kind of get a picture of what this looks like. So it's pulling on this crate. Force A is exerted by the worker, so this is force A. And force B is oppositional to motion because it's friction. What is the relationship? So if this is moving in this direction, then the force of A is going to be greater than the force of B. And that is A. Okay, this one is extensive, so let's go ahead and kind of work through it, and I'll try and color coordinate it so you can see how we get to where we're supposed to get. So it says workers are trying to free an SUV stuck in the mud. To move, where is my, oh, that's not what I wanted. Eraser. Let me change colors while I'm here. To move the vehicle, they use 3 ropes held parallel to the ground, producing force vectors shown in the figure. What is the magnitude and direction of the resultant force of the 3 pulls? So what you kind of have to do is I made this force A, and you have to find AY and AX, because you're going to have to add all of your X forces together and then add all of your Y forces together. So let's see. So this is sine of 31 is equal to AY over 985. Cosine of 31 is equal to AX over 985. So I have AY is 507.31 and AX is 844.31. Okay, let me change colors and do the next one. So let's see. Here, I made this force B, and I found this angle, that's 58 degrees. So I have BY here, and I have BX here. Let's see. I'll put B over here. So we have the sine of 58 equals BY over 788, and the cosine of 58 equals BX over 788. BY came out to be 668.26. BX came out to be -4, and it's negative because of the direction that it's in. It's in the negative X direction. Okay, and finally, let's use orange. So this I made C. So this is CY and CX, which is not the same as BX. So let's see, where did I put that? Sine of 53 is equal to CY over 411. Cosine of 53 is equal to CX over 411. And for CY, I got negative 328.24. And for CX, I got negative 247.35. Now I can add them all up. Let me find a neutral color here. Okay, so in the X direction, I have 844.31 from AX. I have minus 417.58 from BX, minus 247.35 from CX, and I get a positive 179.39. Okay, let me pick a different color. We'll do Y. So for Y, I have a positive 507.31. BY is also positive at 668.26. and then cy is negative at negative 328.24, and I got 847.33. So what that looks like on that looks like 179.39, because that's positive. And this is my resultant. So that should be straight. This can be dotted. And this is going to be 847.33. So I did Pythagorean, and I said, all right, my resultant is going to be the square root of 179.39 squared plus 847.33 squared, like this. So I got 866.11, which is the first one, which is the answer that I got. But I went ahead and double checked to make sure that my angle was correct. So here's my angle, and I did, where did I do that? Oh, so if this is theta, I did tangent of theta is equal to 847.33 divided by 179.39, and I got 78.04. So this is going to be my answer. Lots of work on that one. Okay, so that was number 2. This is number 3. Which is the best example of a non-inertial frame of reference? So I had to go back in your book, and in, let's see, in section 3.2, force and Newton's first law, on pages 52 to 60 in the lesson, a non-inertial frame has a constant, let's see. Okay, let's try this again. An inertial frame has a constant velocity. So anything that is experiencing a net force, if it has a net force of something greater than 0, has a change in velocity and will not be an inertial frame. Okay, so this roller coaster is maintaining its speed, so that's constant velocity, so this is an inertial frame, and we're looking for a non-inertial frame, so that one didn't work. This one says that it's traveling at 947 meters per second with its engines off, which means it's not increasing and it's not decreasing, so this is an inertial frame, so this is not. This is also an inertial frame because the body is at rest. It's not doing anything, so it would be this one. All right, Newton's first law is also known as the law of inertia. Okay. 5. Okay, so Steve gives a shopping cart an initial push across a horizontal floor and lets go. So we have Steve in the shopping cart, and he pushes and he lets go, and the shopping cart just keeps on going until it stops, right? Travels forward across the floor, slowing gradually as it moves. After Steve let go of the cart, what forces are acting upon it? Well, you have the force of friction, you have the force normal, and you have the force of weight. But you no longer have a forward force acting on it right now. So you could say there is no forward force. It's just going to be only a backward force, which is the force of friction. Okay, number 6. A force of 1 Newton will cause a mass of 1 kilogram to have an acceleration of 1 meter per second squared. Therefore, a force of 7 newtons applied to a mass of 7 kilograms will accelerate at what rate? So what I did was I just plugged this into our Newton's second law formula. Force is 7, mass is 7, acceleration. If I solve for acceleration, I get 1. Okay, so this is 7. An astronaut's backpack weighs 17.5 newtons when she's on the Earth, but only 3.24 newtons when she's on the surface of an asteroid. What is the acceleration due to gravity on the asteroid? So my force on Earth is 17.5 newtons. and my force on the asteroid is 3.24 newtons. So what I have to do is I have to find the mass. Now I know the acceleration on Earth is 9.81 meters per second squared. This is what I'm trying to find, the acceleration on the asteroid. So if I do force is equal to mass times acceleration and plug in what I know, my mass is equal to 1.78 kilograms. Now my mass isn't going to change whether I'm on the asteroid or I'm on Earth. So let's see, I have FA is equal to MA. So this is 3.24 equals 1.78 times acceleration. My acceleration on the asteroid is going to be 1.82 meters per second squared, which is here. Okay, number 8. A cat has a mass of 4.6 kilograms. What is its weight on Earth? So I know that the acceleration on Earth is 9.81, so the force of weight is going to be mass times acceleration, which is 4.6 times 9.81, which is 46.126 newtons, or 45, I'm sorry, and that's that. So this is number 9. Where is the thing? There we go, 9, and this is going to be 10. All right, so it says, what is the mass of an object that experiences a gravitational force of this near-Earth surface? So we have force is equal to 669. We know that acceleration is 9.81 meters per second squared. This is in newtons. We're looking for mass. So force is equal to mass times acceleration. 669 is equal to mass times 9.81. Mass is equal to, I got 68.2 kilograms, which is right here. All right, 10. 500, so I have a mass of 521 kilograms, is subject to a force of 2,520 newtons. What is the acceleration? Again, we're going to use that F equals ma and just solve for acceleration. 2520 is equal to 521 times acceleration. Acceleration is going to be 4.84 meters per second squared, which is right here. Okay, 10. I'll find 11. All right. So this is 11 and this is 12, and I'm getting close to the end of my limit for this video, so I might have to break it up and have a part 1 and part 2 for this test review. But an object is transported from Earth to deep space, far from any stars or planets. What happens to the mass and the weight? So here's what you know. Mass doesn't change. Doesn't matter what planet you're on, your mass doesn't change. Your mass is just the amount of space that you take up. Your weight is subject to gravity. So depending on if you're hanging out next to Neptune versus you're hanging out next to Jupiter, your weight will be very different. So let's see what our choices are here. Both weight and mass change. Nope, because the mass doesn't change. Neither the weight nor the mass change. That's not correct because I know gravity changes. The weight of the object changes, and the mass remains the same. So it's this one right here. All right, number 12. A person weighs 857 newtons on Earth. Oh, this is on Earth. And on another planet it weighs 5,200. Okay, so what is the acceleration due to gravity? I'm not sure I can do this in 1 minute, so I'm going to go ahead and save number 12 for the next video. Please let me know if you have any questions.